stuff reset. That's interesting. There we go. I can hear me now. Can you talk?
All right, check, check. Can
There
you
we
hear
go.
me?
Mm-hmm.
That better, Rob?
I got you bouncing now.
There we
All
go.
right.
There
So
we go.
so to revert, basically what I was saying was, you know, at the end of the day, I think you've got to be really careful on how you word things in the public eye because you are in that position where you're on a pedestal. And I think a lot of that goes there. If you're a higher up in a corporation or something like that, you shouldn't be bad mouthing the company. That's just not how it works. And I get that you're saying, oh, well, if they want to trade us, we're supposed to stay professional, but if we want to leave, then we're a cancer to the team and this and that. It's a fine line, but at the end of the day, man, I hate to say it, but I got to side with the teams on this. I think it comes down to contracts, and if you want to be the person that talks trash, then they should have the ability to void your contract and say, you know what, you want to leave, then leave, but we're not paying you what we owe you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Rob, just to circle it back, this is the Draymond Green just a couple of days ago. Had a press conference where he was kind of asked the some questions just in was it wasn't about contracts in general. He just kind of went into just tangent,
It was
right?
almost
Just
like
in
a
general
rant he
about
went on, yeah, about how basically
yeah,
players are not allowed to go public and can be fined, and teams should be held to the same accountability by the league.
yeah, and he was bringing up also. I think he was answering the question because somebody was probably drilling him a little bit about Wiseman, their rookie center, whom at times has shown some some signs of life, and then at other times I guess he's been a little bit lost. And he throughout the season, there's been plenty of videos of him bringing him aside on the court saying, "Hey, listen, young man, this is where you need to be. There's the audio that you can hear him. Hey, I just get in the post. I got you. This is a matchup that I like. Get down there. I'm gonna get you the ball." And coaching him up. And I think somebody was asking him about that, and he was kind of bringing that to light. That hey, listen, it's not always the kid's fault. What about if, as an organization, we're failing him? And we're not doing the things that we need to get him to where the expectation is. I think overall he was just trying to take accountability on all sides. But going back to the contract situation, I have always been a guy that has said if you sign on the dotted line, you should play out for what you have signed, right? I think the James Harden situation was probably a little different because I don't think it was money related. I mean, for crying out loud, they were
No.
willing to give the guy $50 million,
Yeah.
a season. So clearly, money was not the issue there. It was more of a fit and him wanting to scoot himself out of there and get himself on a super team. But as far as contracts are concerned, when guys are, you sign a contract, you need to play it out. You know what I mean? Oh, I signed a 4-year deal because you gave me a shot, and it's only for 1.5 a year, and now I'm playing like the guy that's making 8 a year. I need to get paid the same. Well, you know what? You signed for 1.5. Nobody wanted you at the time,
Yeah.
so you got
Look
to
at
play it
Scottie
out.
Pippen. I mean, Scottie Pippen did the same thing.
It's just I get sick and tired of the guys doing that. Now I understand that these careers, especially in a sport like football, where I think the average career is about 3.5 years, not counting Tom Brady. Um, you know, so yeah, these guys want to make the most amount of money the quickest because you just never know. But by the same token, you sign on the dotted line. You should play for your contract. But should you have the opportunity, going back to your question, to speak your mind and to get out there and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling? With like anything in life, Timmy, if you say it with a smile on your face and you say it the right way, you can say whatever you want. Now, if you're going to go out there and be a complete, jackass about it, then that's what people are going to get a little up in arms about it. Um,
Well,
so
and the other
yeah, man.
thing, I think you got to take into account is, and Charles Barkley brought up a good point about this, is it's easy to say what you want and voice your opinion when you're a upper tier, top tier team. When your team is winning, it's okay to do
Yeah.
that. But when you're on a team that's losing, it really gets annoying because at the end of the day, you got to remember the teams are going to look out for the team's interests, whether it's money, whether it's continuity in the team, whether it's chemistry. They've got to look at the entire picture, and each player is worried about themselves. And I
Yeah.
think that's, very rarely do you see that in the NBA where you find a lot of loyal players that aren't in it for the money and they want to remain loyal to the team long term. You see it a little bit in football where players will take pay cuts to put people around them and they want to stay. But again, I think you got to remember that the team is going to look out for the team's best interests, and a lot of
Yeah.
that 9 times out of 10 comes down to money. We can get rid of this guy, we can save a few $1,000,000 and bring in another guy who is a little bit worse, but at the same time it's going to open us up down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, like I said, I'm all for voicing. I mean, we live in a world where everybody wants to voice their opinion, right? Everybody's hypersensitive about everything, but by the same token, on the other side of the mouth, we're saying everybody has an opportunity to say whatever they want. Well, we want everybody to say whatever they want as long as you're saying it the way that I want you to say it and saying what I want you to say.
Hmm.
That's what it comes down to. And that's where where it's a shame. I think that he's just taking advantage of his opportunities and he's trying to control the narrative when on these press conferences and these media availabilities, and he's not just sitting there saying, you know what, I'm not going to let you guys dictate how we're going to go down this road. I'm going to go ahead and steer this bus. I'm the one that's going to put everything in motion, and you guys are basically just going to take what I'm giving you. And he has a way of getting his point across, and I am sure that he is voicing the opinion of most guys. I'm sure it's not just his opinion. Um, you know, so do we
But it's
just shut them
okay
all up
if you're
and
if you're a top tier player. Again, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter because you're a top tier player. You can go to any team you want. But when you get guys like Andre Drummond that want to talk trash, it's like, who are you? Like, why? Nobody cares if you retire. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's not.
yeah?
That's like, and unfortunately, Draymond Green is right on that tier where he's relevant right now, but he's not at that top tier elite level, but he's good enough to where he matters.
But that's the double standard, right? Like, so on the chat here, Rob says, unless you're LeBron, and I'm gonna take it in the point of if LeBron, bitches and whines and cries about, hey, I want out and I want to do this or I want to do that. People look at it and go, well, damn it, it's LeBron and he has a point, and you have to get him to help, and this, that, and the other because it's LeBron. You know what I mean? But if it's the 12th guy on the bench and he says it, well, you know what? You just need to shut up and dribble, bro. I mean, you're just lucky to even be on the team and blah, blah, blah. But why? I mean, these guys are all in the same business. Shouldn't they all have the same opportunity to voice their opinions and concerns? Why do we need to treat one guy different than the other? Now, obviously, the obvious answer to that is that one guy brings the money in and the other one doesn't, right? So that guy's probably going to get a little bit more play. But I
Not,
don't know. I just
not a lot of Dwight Howard jerseys flying off the old rack over there.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, it's Draymond Green. At the end of the day, you know, he likes to get himself into these little spats, and I think he gets a real thrill out of it. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We'll
I
see where
think
it
it. I
goes.
definitely think he does it partially to keep himself relevant. He feels like he needs to voice his opinion because right now Golden State has fallen from grace, and this is what everyone knew was going to happen when they lost. They lost their players, and at the end of the day, like I said, I got to side with the team here and think big picture on this stuff. I mean, if you're going to say something that's detrimental to the team, that's going to make the team look bad, hey, it says in your contract that's a violation. So you don't like it, you're welcome to void your contract if you want, because we're
But what
not turning
happens
into
to him when a
Bitcoin.
guy is playing and doing his thing, and he feels like he's doing his thing, and yet somebody comes out there and from the team is saying, we need this from this person, or we're thinking about doing XYZ. You know what I mean? That's where I think that he may have a point. You know what I mean? If you're going to come out here and you're going to, kind of talk trash on me, or you're going to, get out there and talk about you're potentially going to trade me, do I not have the opportunity to come out and say, hey, listen, then if you can sit out there in the media and talk all day long about, where you're going to trade me or how you want to trade me or how you're trying to get something of value for me, then why can't I sit out here and say, well, damn it, I want to go somewhere, but this is where I want to go,
Well, I think at the
you
end of the
know?
day, though, if you're playing your game and you're playing at a level that allows you to stand out to where someone is willing to make that trade to get you, by all means, why wouldn't you want to do that? I mean, I get it. Like, you know, if it's one of those where, oh, I don't want to leave California, blah blah blah, and it's a loyalty thing, then don't go out of your way to talk trash about the team you're on if you don't want to leave the team. If you want to leave the
Yeah.
team, that's fine, but you've also got to perform and give them enough enough ammo to get something in return for you. If you think that you're worth all of this, then you should play at that worth so that the team will get something in return for that. If they get three players for you as one, then that helps both teams out. You're leaving because you want to leave, and they're getting what they need to keep the team relevant.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, don't you think
It's a
that
tough
maybe
situation.
don't you think he's maybe putting some stuff out there too to kind of take a little attention off of. I mean, I know, granted, they lost Clay Thompson right before before the season started, but still, I mean, they're barely hanging on to the 8 seed. They're trying to stay on there. Steph is playing out of his mind, and it's probably they continue on. Should be the MVP if he continues playing this way. And by the way, I'm gonna try to get some good video. I'll try to get some good content for everybody. We'll put it out on the social on Friday. I will be at the Orlando Magic and Golden State game. So
Ooh.
I'll try to hunt down Draymond and see what I can get. Maybe I can get him to yell at me. We'll put it
Well,
on some social.
I mean the monster numbers that Draymond Green is putting up this year so far, averaging 5 points a game. I mean, it really does. Again, this is the ammo. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. I don't see any reason for you to be opening your mouth. I'm sorry. And
Well, what my
I'm
point I was
sorry.
going to say before is, don't you think that he might be deflecting a little bit on what's happening there, barely holding on to the AC. And I mean, they are 15-13 starting the night tonight. They're 8 games out of first. I mean, they have a shot, I guess, to move themselves up. Only a couple games back of. I mean, the fifth seed is 17-10. They're sitting 2.5 back of fifth and fourth. So I mean, it's early on in the season, I guess. So they have a shot, but can't he? Maybe he's deflecting a little bit to try to get some attention off of his young center. Some of the play of the team, and trying to take some of that on himself to again deflect on what's happening with them. I don't think anybody had any expectation. If that's the what's happening with him, I don't think he has to, because I don't know anybody out there that would truthfully have any kind of real expectations for Golden State to win anything without one of the Splash Brothers.
I agree, and
But
I think
just
everybody knew that going
a
in.
thought.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
with Draymond Green, everybody knew when Golden State was riding was on top. Draymond Green's numbers were only there because of the other players on the court that opened up and allowed him to have those numbers, and it's showing now to where he's the number two option, and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. I'm sorry. 8 assists. That's commendable. That's commendable, but not when you're playing in a forward position. I'm sorry. That's
yeah.
not your job.
But you can look back at his numbers when even when they were winning championships. I think he was kind of the Dennis Rodman in the sense that Rodman never had. I mean, yes, he did have some crazy rebounding numbers, but when you look at it, I mean, he didn't really do anything else. And he was there for rebounding, and that was his purpose, and he served that well. I think that Draymond Green has always the glue guy for them. Regardless of whatever his numbers were at any point, I think he's just the guy that can bring those guys together. He's always been the voice for the team. He's always been the one to kind of spew all this crap out there. So it's just a little bit more of the same. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see where it goes. But how about a little recap for we had a little bit of audio in the beginning, so a little recap how you're doing, how you're feeling after getting your face pulled and tugged in all kinds of directions. I think the last time we were on, a couple of people on the chat were telling you to make sure that you enjoy the meds. Did you enjoy the meds that you were on through
I,
this whole process?
I was worried because I had never taken hydrocodone before, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you gotta be careful because you can get hooked on this stuff." And honestly, I didn't even finish the bottle. Um, I was more focused on when it hurt and trying to stay out in front of it. And I don't think I've taken anything in the last 4 or 5 days. I mean, even ibuprofen stuff. The swelling's pretty much down. Everything's healing the way it's supposed to. So we're able to talk which is good because before I kind of had that crooked mouth because my cheek was all swollen over here, so I couldn't really move my jaw much. I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I don't wish that upon anybody, but I am so glad that it's done and I never have to deal with that again.
Yeah, I remember you sent me that picture. I texted you and said, "Hey man, how you feeling?" You sent me the picture looking like a chickmunk.
Oh yeah.
It was something else. I mean, it was quite the sight. But I'm glad you're feeling better. We've been trying to get on here over the last couple of weeks. Last week we had a little bit of technical issues, so we just decided to scrap it towards this week. Give you one more week to get up and rolling, and give me another week of trying to get some technical side things on my side taken care of. So, I mean, we missed the Super Bowl as far as breaking it down on our end. I don't think we need to go into too much detail. People saw the game, but we can definitely talk about what our predictions were because I did pick the Bucks to win. I think my score was 28-24. Definitely wasn't that. I mean, it was quite the blowout. And I think you had the Chiefs rolling through there and beating up on the Bucks, right?
I didn't see it coming, and I tell you that this was the worst Super Bowl in so many ways because it was 6 days after the surgery. I couldn't eat anything. It was my daughter's birthday, the same day. I mean, it was like the perfect storm,
Yeah.
and I didn't even think when I scheduled this that the Super Bowl was 6 days after I got the surgery. And I was like, I'll be good. 2 3 days will be good. No. And I think Bill in the chat, I think he's just now recovering from his hangover from celebrating the Bucks just complete domination over the Chiefs. I don't think anybody saw that kind of beating coming. I think this was
Yeah.
predicted to be a really good matchup, and man, it was borderline embarrassing to watch.
Yeah. It was over early. I think what surprised me the most is just the fact that the Chiefs just couldn't do anything offensively.
Nothing.
Um, I thought for sure that it would be end up being more of a shootout.
Hmm.
I think before the game, a lot of the analysts were picking like some real high scoring games. I think somebody had like 38-34. I mean, there was like 34-30. I mean, all that. And I think it's the first game that under Patrick Mahomes that they haven't scored a touchdown.
Yeah, yeah.
And what a freaking game to do it in the Super Bowl. Um, I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. I think I told you the week before the Super Bowl, we decided to get out and about and just to get out of the house, get some air. I mean, we are still pretty much kind of staying home, because of the whole COVID thing and everything. So we don't really do a whole lot, but we wanted to go out, get some fresh air. We ended up in Tampa and drove around the stadium, looked awesome. And then I'm driving around downtown Tampa and I end up in some little island and I end up in front of the house of the goat,
I think it's at
Tom
Anna Maria
Brady.
Island. Did you go across the big bridge?
No, no, no.
Oh,
It's
okay.
I think it's Davis Island. I think it's what
Okay.
it's called. And let me tell you, I, I probably can live in one side of that house, and Brady would not even know that I was there for a month. I mean, it's
I saw
freaking
the picture.
ridiculous.
It's pretty impressive.
I tried to send you a picture. I was trying to be discreet, but let me tell you, sweet baby Jesus. I mean, that thing it's a castle.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and people just don't even are just, I mean, no shame in the game. A guy just stopped right in front, put his blinkers on and, pictures away. And I'm over here telling my kid, hey man, one quick pass and we're heading out.
We
I'm
gotta
not going to
go.
be those people. Um, Full disclosure, we made like 4 passes, but it's okay. It's okay because there was an old couple parked in front of there that was taking pictures. I mean, that's how bad it is. So, yeah, man, it was pretty awesome. Derek Jeter, congrats to you, my friend. Hell of a house. Hell of a house. Um, but yeah, back to the Super Bowl. It was not. It was a shocker to me. I wanted to ask everybody other in the chat. I've kind of put it out there. What y'all think about the halftime show? Because let me tell you, I thought it was garbage.
Yeah, yeah. I know we discussed it, and I just I just miss the simple halftime shows. Like Get one or two people out there and let them just have a good time. Play the songs that are actual hits that everyone wants to listen to, and then get off the stage. I don't need. This is. I feel like halftime shows are turning into like Michael Jackson music videos. Like let's make this a full. Let's get the Coen brothers involved with a storyline, and I don't get it. I just want to sit back, enjoy the halftime show, play some good tunes, and get out of here. And I wish they would get back to having two different genres on the stage at once.
Yeah.
Kind of like they do in certain situations where you can get maybe a little country, a little hip hop, and get it going. I would have liked to see something like that just to kind of bring everybody together because not everybody listens to The Weeknd, and I know a lot of people enjoy The Weeknd. I personally do enjoy a lot of his music, but I just thought that was a little much.
Yeah, my initial thought, once the show was over, I said, you know what? I feel bad for him. Whoever put this damn thing together for him failed him miserably. It just was not good. And then the next day, I hear that he put like $7 million out of pocket to put this thing together. And then all of a sudden, I said, "The hell with you! I don't feel bad for you anymore. You suck." I mean, it was just
Wait, you
bad.
paid
I
for
mean,
that?
it was just bad. My wife is like, "Hey, call me when the halftime show is coming, and so I can come check it out." She sits down. My son starts like almost cussing, and he's like, "This is so bad," to the point where I'm like, "All right, calm down, bro. I mean, relax. Let's just watch it." I mean, it was really bad.
Rob makes a valid point there. Bruno Mars is like Amazon and The Weeknd is like Wish. I agree 100%
I
with
like it.
that.
I like it. That is
That
perfectly
is
said,
perfect.
Rob.
Bruno
Perfectly
Mars is
said.
the shit. I tell you what.
Yeah.
So let's stick with football here. I want to talk wide receiver free agency. I know we've been talking quarterbacks the last couple episodes, but we've got some big name wide receivers. I'm gonna probably say the top wide receiver coming out available right now is probably going to be Juju Smith-Schuster.
Hmm.
And there are quite a
Future
few
future
teams.
friend of the show,
Yeah, yeah,
Juju
honorary
Smith-Schuster.
third member. Um,
Yes.
Hopefully, I'll be seeing him in the next couple months. Hopefully, we'll be hanging out. But yeah, there's some big names. I think who is it? Marvin Jones is out there. We got
Chris
Juju,
Godwin.
Chris Godwin, AJ Green, Allen Robinson, Larry Fitzgerald. I don't foresee him leaving Arizona. I think he's going to sign maybe for another year or two. He's 38 years old. That,
Yeah.
that that's an old wide receiver.
Yeah, but he's got a little bit of that Tom Brady stuff happening there with him. So, but
He's
yeah, like you
he's in
said,
the
Allen
game right now
Robinson.
to break records. That's why he's playing right now. He's just let me make a few
Yeah.
mil and let me just keep catching some balls and that's it. Corey Davis is
Yeah.
out there. I mean, Will Fuller is another big one. I mean, guy got suspended the last
Hmm.
5 weeks of the season and still had the best season of his career. I mean,
Yep.
I'm a little interested in seeing because what's going to happen is they're going to end up playing the swap game where this guy's going to move from this team and then the guy from that team is going to move over to this team. I think the Jets can use a lot of help. I think the Colts can use a lot of help. Uh, Ty is going to be gone, so it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm curious where you think Juju's going to go.
Well, I mean, I know he played his college ball out on the West Coast, so it wouldn't surprise me. And I believe he has a home out there and is where he spends his off season. So it wouldn't surprise me if he tries to find his way out there um, somewhere. I can see a team like the Raiders trying to make a move for him or something like that, where
They
he
are
gets
actually
out
number
there.
one on the list. Oakland is number one on the list to
Um,
get Juju.
yeah, well, it's Las Vegas now, buddy. So
Always going to
Oakland
be
ain't doing
Oakland.
jack.
Always going to be Oakland.
So I can see a team like that making a move for him. I think Gruden will love to have a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster out there. Um, you know, the guy that I'm interested in seeing is going to be Chris Godwin. I mean, is he going to be content now with he's got himself a Super Bowl? Am I going to go and just try to go get strictly go for a paycheck now, or is he going to try to come back and run it back? You know,
Yeah, yeah.
um, that's an interesting one there. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm always interested to see who my team is going to pick up. You know what I mean? So a name that
Yeah.
I've heard potentially going there, and they actually talked about potentially doing a trade during the season was actually Allen Robinson. That's a guy that popped up a couple times going over there. The question, obviously, with them is who's going to throw him the football.
Exactly.
Um, so Yeah, I
Carson
mean, it's
Wentz.
gonna be. I don't know.
I'm hearing some Carson
Car-
Wentz talk, man, about, about him going to New England. I'm actually hearing
I'm gonna
him
tell you.
about Chicago a lot too.
I'm gonna tell you the most disappointing thing that I've heard is that there's a high possibility that they're gonna run it back with Cameron Newton, and I may have to buy a Bucks jersey next year, Bill. If
Mm.
that's the case, I may have to take a season off. I don't know if I can do another season of Cam Newton. I don't. It's gonna be ugly, man.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be ugly.
there's probably, I would say, at least 15 of the top 25 wide receivers are free agents this year.
Yeah,
I mean, that's saying something. I think it's going to be awesome for fantasy football because every few years it turns into that crapshoot draft where you have a lot of big names that are on new teams and you just don't know what's going to happen with them, and do you
yeah,
take the chance and hope that it works out? And this is going to be a really awesome year,
yeah,
especially after last year where
yeah.
everything just kind of felt
It,
off.
it's going to rival the NBA offseason. I think some people look forward more to the NBA offseason than they do to the actual regular
Yeah,
season because it just goes freaking crazy.
yeah,
And I think that this offseason has that potential. I mean, you've seen guys ask for trades and get traded. You've seen guys ask for release to be released and get released. JJ Watt. You have these big names getting out there, man. It's going to be an interesting offseason here. I think you're going to look at teams. I think there's a shot of the season starting, and you sit there watching the red zone, and you go, "When the hell did that guy get there?"
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
just going to be one of those deals. So we'll see, man. I mean, it's going to be fun. Where do you think JJ Watt's going to land?
I would love, and this is me being a fan, but at the same time it makes sense, is him going to Dallas.
Oh my god.
he's kind of on the downward turn. I think him and Demarcus Lawrence would be amazing to see on the same team. I'd love to, obviously I don't think he wants to leave Texas, and I think it would be awesome for him to go to Dallas. Um, I mean, the thing is a JJ Watt can be used on any team. So it's really hard to say
Yeah,
this team could really use him because every team could use somebody like him, somebody like Von Miller, Jadavian Clowney, guys that are just so over the top athletic and aggressive and big names. I mean, they equal money. That's the big thing is the JJ
yeah,
Watt name is just so much money, and he does so much for the league. His charity work is amazing, and again, I think whoever gets him, it's a win not only on the field but off the field as well.
yeah, yeah. Bill beat me to it, but and Rob, Jesus, you guys are stealing my thunder. Um, yeah, his brother does want him in Pittsburgh. Interesting to see what that would be like, that dynamic there.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, can you imagine that? A Watt on either side. It's like cover Watt. Which one? Which one? Um, and
They'd
then
have
the
their own
Packers.
formation.
Yeah, and then the Packers are a logical location for him because he's a Wisconsin guy. So
Wisconsin.
um, yeah. I mean, if it was 2 years ago, I think that there would be a real possibility of him going to New England. I think there was a lot of talk about that a couple years back. But now, without Brady being there, I tell you where he is going to land, Bill. He's going to go on a 1 year deal to Tampa. That's what's going to
Get
happen.
a Super Bowl.
No, I mean that's what's going to happen. Guys are going to ask for a release, and they're going to go ring chasing, and they're going to say, you know what, Brady still has it. I mean, we're going to go down there, and we're going to just keep collecting people,
Build a super
and
team.
we're going to go. Yeah, we're going to get ourselves a ring, and then I'm going to go and get another 2-3 year deal somewhere else, get paid a little bit more, and then retire. Um,
Well,
it's just I can definitely see that happening. And would you blame him if he decided to take a 1 year deal to go to Tampa Bay and to try to compete for a Super Bowl
I would I
after
would
everything that he's done for the Texans?
I would lose a little bit of respect for him. Yes, I would.
You would.
I lose a
Interesting.
little respect for any player that is chasing a championship rather than, because then it's not about the game anymore. You know what I mean? Now it's about I just want to see what it feels like to win a championship. And I think Houston has had opportunities where that could have happened. They've had teams where they were Super Bowl caliber teams and they came up short. I just and that's in any sport. That's mostly you see it in the NBA and the NFL. I just
Right.
not to take anything away from. I think J.J. Watt is a first ballot Hall of Famer hands down, but I would lose a little bit of respect for him if he did that. I'd still love him, obviously, but you know.
Would you? I mean, I guess I can understand that sentiment if it's a guy that's only been in the league for, maybe his first contract, you know what I mean? And after 4 seasons or whatever it is, he decides, all right, I'm going to go ring chase and then I'll try to go get a nice big deal and go somewhere else. But this is a guy that's been in the league now for quite a bit of time, has done everything that you can for a team. I mean, he's laid it all out there. He has been a little bit injury prone, but he's been injury prone because he's been giving it his all,
Yeah.
every time he's on the field. So does a guy like that deserve to go out there? I mean, we want to bitch and whine about guys just going, and chasing money and it's all about the money. But are we going to sit here now and say, well, the guy wants to go get a ring and it's about winning now, and we can't bitch about both of it. I mean,
Well,
can
and
we?
I'm not saying that because J.J. Watt's never been about money. J.J. Watt's never
Right.
been. He's never held out and said I want the contract, and I don't think he's ever had to chase money because his performance has he's earned every penny that he's ever made.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think the guys that think they want the big contract, I lose just as much respect for them when they say, "Yo, I'm just going to not play, and I'm going to force you to trade me so I can get paid, or I'm not going to play until you pay me." Uh, at the end of the day, it takes something that's pure and it tarnishes it, and I think that's where, call me old school if you want, but that's how I've always seen sports when it comes to being a fan. Is this is a
Yeah.
game first. You're playing a game. You're getting paid to play a game, and now you're going to say you don't want to play this game anymore because you're not making enough money to do it. When
Yeah.
99% of the people, every fan possible would give up a part of their life to be in that position, and you don't want to
Yeah.
do it.
But look at it in this sense, right? So we look at it that way because every day we wake up and we go to whatever job we have throughout the week, and then on the weekend we come turn on our TV at 1 or 4 or whatever time it is to find our team of choice and enjoy that game, right? And we're sitting there going, you know what? You guys need to play your asses off because I'm turning on the TV or I'm paying for a ticket to come watch you. Damn it, play, right? But they are waking up every day in the morning to go do their job, right? And after a while, like a lot of people,
They
they
only
get
work
sick and
six
tired of their
months a
job.
year.
Yeah, but those 6 months of the year are the equivalent of us getting up every single day. So I think we can cut them a little bit of slack,
No
right?
way, dude.
Because
Listen. You work out all week. You work. I wish I could just go work out all week, and then one for an hour every week for 1 hour you have to play football. That's all you have to do. Oh, and sometimes you
yeah,
might only have 5 days. Sorry, in between your games instead of seven. Come
yeah.
on, man. No, no,
Hey,
no.
I want to give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. I mean, I would say that, and I want to a couple of the guys here have some questions, and one of them being, will J.J. Watt make the Bucks better? Go Rays, Tito. I would say yes, because if he goes to a team like Tampa, he doesn't have to be the guy. I think that's the problem that he has with the Texans is they want to build around him, and they haven't realized that you can no longer build around him. He's not the guy to build around, but he's a guy that can come in on a passing situation, rush the quarterback, and go get you a sack and be disruptive in that way. And if he's going to come in, even if it is just on passing downs, and he's going to get you, 9, 10, 11, 12 sacks in a season on just certain plays, I mean, why not? You know what I mean? We saw how important it is to have guys that can be disruptive in the Super Bowl when
Yeah,
with Pat Mahomes. They had him running for his life, and if you can rotate guys in and have fresh legs on every single down, why not? Especially a guy that's probably going to take a pretty cheap contract if he does decide to go to a team like Tampa to go ring chase, which
yeah.
again, I'm going to say it, I'm not going to blame him for.
I won't blame him. I'll just lose a little bit of respect for him.
Hey, hey, it is what it is. Hey, let's we'll stay in Tampa, and it is sad news. But Vincent Jackson passed away. Was found dead.
In a hotel
What
room.
was it? Yesterday in a hotel room. I guess he'd been missing for a couple of days. His family was looking for him, and the police down there in was it Brandon, Florida, found him in a hotel room. I guess some details are coming out now that he was battling some alcoholism and the heavy concussions that he had throughout his career were affecting him, at this stage. in his life. 38 years old. I mean, it wasn't exactly an old man. Right up my age. Sad. Definitely one of those when it came through that took it, had to pause for a second and really look at it and just kind of stared at my phone. And I was like, man, Vincent Jackson. You know what I mean? Not like he was like the greatest wide receiver in the world out there, and you know what I mean. But he was very, very good player as far as I've heard. Good guy on the field, off the field. I never really heard anything negative about Vincent Jackson that I can recall, at least. So one of those deals where I kind of made me stop in my tracks for a second and really, think about it and say, man, especially when I saw 38, because I mean that's the age that I am, and
Yeah, you're
um,
old.
it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, I'm old, but Vincent Jackson
Vincent
wasn't.
Jackson. So he had 6,000 yard receiving years. But the one year, the one stat I did see, and this was probably his one of his better years, was in 2009, was the year of Darrell Revis, the year of Revis Island. That
Revis
year,
Island.
Darrell Revis held Andre Johnson, Randy Moss, Chad Ochocinco, T.O. Steve Smith, Reggie Wayne, all to under 35 yards that year. Vincent Jackson had 7 catches and 111 yards against him in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was that was the one stat that showed how potentially dominant Vincent Jackson could be. And I think he might have been a product of his team when it came to those numbers, and not having the opportunity like some of the guys have now, where it's just a pass
Right.
heavy teams. He was with the Chargers most of his career, and always, he was always relevant. He was never not relevant. He was always that go-to guy, that could go up there and get it. But again, it was one of those situations where it just wasn't the same kind of league as it is today. But I definitely think, unfortunately, losing someone that young,
Mm-hmm.
it boosts his reasoning to be into the Hall of Fame. Will he be in the Hall of Fame? I don't think it'll be anytime soon if he does go
Yeah.
in, but I think it'll definitely be there'll definitely be some kind of moment of silence, if definitely in Tampa, if not anywhere in some other stadiums across next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was one of those that just kind of I stared at it for a second. I guess there's as you roll, not to get too sappy, but as you roll along in life, and you get older, I think there's times that you're reminded you're older, right? And then when you start seeing names like this that end up being, kind of in your
Hmm.
age range, it starts reminding you, man, so I don't know if that's why it hit a little bit more, but definitely a sad situation. Just a week removed from what was one of the happiest times in Tampa to have that come about. It's just sad. But we definitely wanted to touch on that. Um, I think my brother was one that had him in fantasy football. Quite, everybody has that one guy that you
Anquan
draft
Bolden.
every year. You know what I mean? Yeah, for you as Anquan Bolden, I think you still draft him
I drafted
every
him
year.
as the
Um,
greatest wide receiver of all time, second best player,
yeah,
and the first best player of all time.
yeah. For me, it was Marcus Colston. I used to draft Marcus
Oh,
Colston. I think I
Marcus
drafted him.
Colston.
I think I drafted that guy like 5 years in a row.
He was
Like
an animal.
just Marcus Colston. Give me Marcus Colston. And I think for my brother, Vincent Jackson was that guy. Like we would look at our board after our draft. It was like, yeah, Louis has Vincent Jackson. I mean, that's just kind of okay.
That's
That's
why
that's
that's
just
why
it.
he never won a championship.
Yeah.
Never won a fantasy
So
championship.
yeah. So Vincent Jackson. There you go. So yeah, man. I mean, sad situation,
Well,
but
let's
there we
let's
have it.
let's bring it up a little bit. Let's bring up the old Timmy Tebow situation.
Tim Tebow. I'm going to pose this question to the guys in the chat. To everybody out there in the chat, can you retire from a sport that you haven't played?
Rob with a
that's what.
TJ
That's.
Hushmanzada reference.
Oh man. So can you retire from a sport that you haven't played? Tim Tebow, you're retiring from baseball. Does playing in minor league baseball still count? I mean,
Yes,
he never made the big team. He was never in the show. So you know,
but
can
I
he do
think
that?
I think for tax reasons, he was a professional baseball player because he was
Oh,
getting
I'm
paid to
sure
play
for
baseball. So I
for
think
Uncle Sam,
technically he
absolutely.
was a professional baseball player.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we can go to Tito for that. He's our big guy, a baseball guy. We're gonna lean on Tito for baseball. moving forward. He was a stud baseball player at one of our local colleges here. So we're going to lean on him for that.
You say whatever
Um,
local college is around here? Is that what you said?
no, at one of our
Oh,
local
was
colleges.
it Stetson?
Uh, no. He was I believe a Rollins guy. Is
Ooh,
that right?
what's the Rollins
Yeah.
mascot? What is it? A fish? Some kind of mud dauber?
Um,
The Rollins mud
I'm I'm
daubers?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Tim
But
Tebow did bat 338,
he's
by
a
the way,
stud.
his third season. So I will.
3-3.
That's commendable. That's
He
commendable.
batted like 5 times.
It's
Okay.
not Ichiro
Um,
numbers, but
no. Which we had a great Ichiro stat. We put that out there.
yeah, that was a good
If
one.
you recall that one. So
It
yeah,
was
we just had an alert to Fernando Tatis Jr. Just got himself a healthy deal. Mr. Tatis is going. He just agreed to 14 years, $340 million. So
that's too much money.
yeah, he's doing just fine, just fine.
He'll be all right.
Yeah,
I think I could
Rollins
survive off that.
Tars.
The
Is that what it
Rollins
is?
a tar.
Tar.
What's a
Tito.
tar? That's not. What
Tito,
is that? Is that an animal? How can you have an inanimate object as?
Tito, you're my boy, but I'm not quite sure about this one. It's
What?
a tar.
What did you? What did you major in?
Hey man, Tito's the man.
I
Tito's
gotta
the
look
man.
this
So
up. The Rollins Tars. What is it? An anchor? Is that what it is? It's an
I'm
archaic
not.
name for a sailor.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, I'm gonna pub this because let me tell you, it is what he does is phenomenal. Let me tell you, we are big fans. So my man here, Tito, and I'm probably putting this out here, and I hope he's okay with it.
Throw him
But
out.
I'm
Throw him
gonna
out here.
I'm
That's
gonna
why
I'm
he's
gonna
here.
I'm gonna no, I'm gonna pub his business up a little bit. You want to talk about the best strawberries in the freaking world? Let
Oh
me tell you,
yeah, I do love strawberries. See, I used to go to
this
Pappy's Patch
guy.
in Oviedo. That was my spot for strawberries.
I told you about this. I think we talked about it a
Mm-hmm.
couple weeks ago. I think we buy like 3 or 4 packs when we go over to his little farm there and get some strawberries because 2 of them probably go in the car. They don't make it to the house. I got some for the guys at work a couple weeks ago, and I think they each brought from their individual pack. I think they brought 1 or 2 home for their wife to try because they just sat there at lunch and just devoured the thing. So Tito, do me a favor, put your strawberry patch, your info on there so that our folks
So this
can
guy,
get to
this
you.
guy is hustling
'Cause
the aphrodisiac fruit for the ladies. So what we need to
I'm,
do is if we open up
we're
a
a little bit
chocolate,
late.
if
We're a
we
little
open
bit
up a
late for
chocolate
Valentine's,
factory,
but
we need to get a chocolate factory next to him, and then we can make chocolate covered strawberry. Dude, the Sideline Sport Talk Chocolate Factory. All right,
yeah,
we got to get investors. We got to get this going now. This is a
I
million
tell you,
dollar idea.
yeah. And let me tell you, I don't think he's doing it right now, but you were able to at one point to go over there and pick your own strawberries. Hopefully we get back to that at
That's
some
my
point.
favorite part, man. Take the kids
Um,
out there.
Yeah, but he's got a really cool he's got a real cool setup over there. I'm extremely jealous of it, but I tell him that all the time. He has a gem in Orlando, Florida. So if he's so kind that he wants to, I'll let him put it on there on the chat so that anybody that looks through it today and down the road has access to that information because it is phenomenal. It is phenomenal.
I need to get him a
I will throw
plot.
that out there.
He needs a little plot where he can start growing some okra. That's what I want. Some pickled okra. Ooh,
Some okra.
that's my
There you
favorite.
go. There you go. At a patch of blue Orlando. Do yourselves a favor. Check it out. Check it out because it is fantastic. Fantastic. So yeah, man. So Tebow retires from baseball, never playing baseball. I don't think he ever retired from football, even though he actually played that sport.
By the way, I mean, one of the most winningest, percentage-wise, one of the winningest quarterbacks in NFL history. I think he only lost one game ever, and it was a playoff game. Just
Against my
throwing that out there.
Patriots.
Just throwing that out there.
My Pats, Tom Brady, if my memory serves me, threw for 5 touchdowns in the first half of that game on their way to the Super Bowl.
So is
So,
Ken Dorsey. Speaking of football, by
um,
the way, coming back, circling back the wagons, Big Ben has said he wants to play another year, and
oh God,
Pittsburgh's GM said we're gonna have to look at the situation. That's what they told him.
that's code for we don't
No,
want you, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Can you kindly remove yourself so that we don't have to do this in the public,
You know where
please?
he's gonna go? He's
You
gonna end up
know?
going to New England.
Oh my God,
That's what you're gonna get.
is that an upgrade from Cameron Newton?
Yes, 100%.
You think so?
Hmm.
Well, Cam throws it in the dirt. At least he can't throw it more than 15 yards, but at least he can throw it in the air. You know
If
what I
here's
mean?
the
Like
thing, if New England makes a move and they get Big Ben, realistically, let's say they get Big Ben and they make a move to get one or two of these free agent receivers that are out there,
they get Juju.
there's potential
Oh
there. Oh,
yes.
Juju would hate that. Can you imagine?
Oh, Juju. I
And
mean,
he's
he won't be
back
able to
with
do the
Big Ben.
Corvette over there. You know what I mean with Bill, but man, how about that?
I'm just saying the potential's there for New England. They have no reason to not go after somebody right now because I don't think they're going to give up anything really to get a quarterback. I don't think they're going to make like a Deshaun Watson move. I think he's going to end up somewhere like the Jets or something to where a team that can just dump their future away to get him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Patriots have a lot of cap room. They should do something for crying out loud. Um, Yeah, Deontay Johnson top 5 without Juju. That's the question. That's what happened to Juju, right? Juju was
When
out there. He was
yeah.
balling out when he had Antonio Brown.
Hmm.
Then all of a sudden Antonio Brown just goes absolutely batshit crazy and one's out and he's out the door. And then Juju, believe me, I know because that year that Juju was by himself, I had him on my fantasy team. And as much as I love him now because he's the future third member of our show,
Hmm.
I hated him that year because he sucked. So yes, we have this recorded. Yeah, he'll probably look at it. He's gonna hate me for it, but it'll be a topic of conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit
Um,
back and let you guys go at it. That's what I'm gonna do. You guys are gonna have to
hey,
do a dance off, and you're gonna lose. That's what's gonna happen.
it's the world we live in. If it's not about fantasy football, we really don't care. So yeah, man, it's. I mean, it is what it is. I don't. We want to touch on our local team too. What are your thoughts on Gus Malzahn as the new head football coach of the UCF Knights?
I haven't been able to do a whole lot of research on him. I saw that the other head coach we had went to Tennessee. Was
Yeah,
it
with our
Tennessee?
AD. Yep.
And
Yep.
so I'm interested to see. I think UCF's been cultivating some decent coaches that have been able to turn the team and keep the team relevant. I should say, from when Scott Frost was here, obviously when they were just completely
Yeah.
dominating. Um, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's always excited. I think when that comes back around, I think college football is always a hot topic when it comes to coaches moving around and this and that. And I don't think UCF is at that level where the relevance is there to have a full-on conversation when it comes to nationwide news. But the thing about UCF and the thing about Florida sports is you can play year-round, and I think that's one edge that a lot of players look to where you don't have to worry about inclement weather, where you can practice and play and always be out there and stay into the game. And I think
Yeah.
that helps UCF a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. My the way I see it, this is I think it's a great hire. Honestly, I don't think that UCF could have done any better. Truth be told, in the sense that it's a name that everybody knows. It's a guy that was very relevant with Auburn, which was his last job. He beat Nick Saban, one of the few guys that can do that. Several times. The team competed. I think his first year at Auburn, they went to the national championship game. So it's a guy that has been there, has coached in the highest level as far as college football because
Hmm.
of the division or the conference that he was coaching in. And I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for UCF. I think that he brings a little bit of a little something to UCF that they didn't have. I think Scott Frost was building that, and that's the guy that hurt the most for me when he left because
Oh, I've heard everybody.
I thought people and I thought guys I thought guys were really starting to take to Scott Frost, and I think he would have done a hell of a job recruiting. Now I can't blame him because he went off to his alma mater, and
Yeah.
that's a dream for him. So I guess I can't blame him for that. But then when they brought in Josh Heupel, I thought, okay, I mean, it's a guy that can continue kind of going, but is he really going to move the needle in terms of being able to bring in some big names?
Hmm.
And I always thought that the answer was no. And then you can see that steadily happening as the years were going on, as they were removed from Scott Frost. With this hire now, I think this is a guy that when guys think UCF and they think Gus Malzahn, they go, okay, maybe
Right.
we can consider it. This is a guy that has been there, has beat some good teams. Um, it's a good hire. It's a good hire. I think I think a lot of good is going to come of it. I mean, when's the last time a UCF coach was being interviewed by Paul Feinbaum? You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And he had him on the show, here recently to talk about UCF and everything. So he's getting them a little bit more exposure. And I think that with the combination of him being a pretty good football coach, it's going to do well for the school.
Well, and I think they've still got Dylan Gabriel, and I think that's I think the quarterback situation in any college team is always the make or break. And I think they've got the talent there, and I think they've just got to build up. And I think, like you said, with having a big name coach like that, it does draw a lot of players that you would not have normally seen. And it's going to
Yeah,
be interesting because I know UCF does tend to kind of keep a lot of Florida players on their team. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to go out a little farther and try and find some of these other big names.
yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I want to do provide an alert on our Orlando Magic. They were on the winning side today against the New York Knickerbockers. Not a lot of W's for our local team. Um, it's one of those deals where a lot of these local providers, for whatever reason, don't have Fox Sports, um, you know, Florida, whatever it is. So it's kind of tough to watch these games sometimes, but I try
Hmm.
to keep up with them as best I can. But let me tell you, they're fielding what is not even a G League team. I mean, if it wasn't for Nick Vucevic having an All Star season, um, Jesus, I don't know where the heck they would be because
He has one every season.
um, yeah, and actually, I posted this on our Twitter. I asked people, and on the chat, you guys can let us know: is the All Star Game, NBA All Star Game, a popularity contest?
Yes.
And to me, the answer is yes, and I think the consensus around is that it is. So I then pose this question: should it be considered a stat that will make it or break it for a guy to make the Basketball Hall of Fame if it is, in fact, a popularity contest?
I don't think so. I don't. I mean, I think most All Star games are popularity contests. Um, just like any award when it comes to, I mean, even the Heisman is technically just a popularity contest. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I wish there was a way that you could play your best player from each team be on a team, but there's just not enough spots, obviously. But
Yeah.
when you've got some of these super teams where you got two, three, four guys that are making an all-star team, it's like, well, why? This is why the all-star team doesn't matter. That's why nobody cares about the all-star game. They care about the dunk contest and the three-point shootout, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that's up in the air right now. I don't even know they're going to have the. There's a lot of guys that are really ticked off about, an All Star game that don't want to be a part of an All Star game because of the COVID situation. I know I think it was the mayor of Atlanta has come out and is pleading with the NBA saying, hey, please, don't do this, and if we are going to do it, let's make it, closed door. Just the players come down here. We can open it up as best we can to the TV audience and then do as much as any innovative crap that you want to do. That's fine, but let's not bring a crap ton of people to Atlanta and then leave us behind and have us in the news for having more COVID cases. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that as we move forward and get closer to it. Um, with an All Star game, but I just think it is. I've been looking at his numbers. The guy is putting up, I think it's like 24, 25 points a game. He has a bunch, his rebounding is up. His assists are up. Everything about him is he's trending in the right direction. He just unfortunately hasn't played on a team that has been any good. And they had some potential this year, but they have been just so damn injured. I think a week ago they were playing without a point guard.
Yeah.
They brought a guy in on a two-way contract off the street to start as the point guard. because they just didn't have it. They fielded a team several games ago where I think they had 7 available players, and not because of COVID, just because guys were
Yeah,
injured.
their whole team is
Um,
hurt. I mean,
it's unbelievable. But I guess the question, should be asked: does that fall on? Is it that the players are out of shape? Is it that staff is the athletic staff is failing the team and not prepping these guys, properly, and that's why they're getting hurt, or is it just a fluke? I mean,
well, I mean, you look at tonight. I mean, Jonathan Isaac out, Aaron Gordon out, Markel Fultz obviously out, Cole Anthony. Like that's four of their starters that aren't
yeah,
there. And I mean,
that's that. Yeah.
the fact that they
Oh,
won, Terrence Ross had to score 30 points for them to win.
yeah.
I just, again, this is it's weird because you're seeing a lot of this, and I think they've got to figure something out. This league has got to figure something out to make it more enjoyable for the fans. And I've been giving this
Yeah.
some thought on what they could do, and
Okay.
this might be next level stuff that I don't understand why no one has thought of this. But why don't you make the games more interactive when it comes to cameras? Like, why not have, you know, 8 or 9 different camera angles around the court, and you be able to
Mm-hmm.
sit with your remote and pick which camera you want to watch. If you want to watch one over the rim, watch the side. I don't know why they don't do this in the NBA. I don't know why it hasn't been done anywhere. The
Yeah.
NFL has a lot of different camera angles, but for the most part, you see one or you see the overhead one, and that's it. But with basketball, there's so many different angles you can watch because there's a lot of stuff that goes on away from the ball that you don't see. There's a lot of different
Yeah.
angles you could. And I mean, this could completely innovate basketball and change the way people watch it. And I don't know why this hasn't been done. Like you could literally make an interactive NBA channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and I agree. I mean, especially right now when we're in a situation where some teams are not even allowing fans still, so you have a lot of room to get yourself out there and to go do whatever the heck you want, add all the cameras you want. Get out there and make it fun. Make it so that people want to, tune in. I mean, truth be told, partially because my favorite team, being the Magic, are not great this year because of the injuries, like we said, and um, I mean, I tune into some of these games. I like watching Luca play. I'll tune in to watch him, but other than that, I'm like, you know, it just hasn't been quite as fun for me to watch it. I'm interested. I'm a lot more interested in watching baseball coming up. I am excited about that. To see what happens there. So yeah, I mean, they definitely have to do something to make it a little bit more engaging for fans. I'm interested. I'm gonna be interested to see what it's gonna be like on Friday when I go.
Go
I've
Braves!
already got a text. Yeah, he's not wasting a second there. I already got a text from my brother who is holding the tickets for us. That from the Magic, they say that you have to do like this whole contact tracing thing. So I have to go through like download an app, and I got to do all kinds of stuff to fill out all kinds of information, give up one of my kids,
Man, don't let
like
your wife
shave,
see that.
all
She's gonna
kinds
know
of
where you've been
stuff,
hanging out.
so that I can so that I can go watch this game. They got to scan me up and down when I get over there. It's going to
I
be
thought we
very
had a
intrusive.
contact. Didn't we have a contact in this with the Magic? Are we working on
We
this yet?
do. Well, we do. We have somebody over there that we're waiting to set something up so that we can get them on
Got to
and
get our
talk some sports.
credentials.
Yeah, we're trying to get our credentials over there too. So, and then we potentially have another one that is in the works too that wants to maybe chime in here with us and talk some basketball.
And we
Um,
got to get Bill in here
the Magic.
still.
Yep, we got to get Bill in there. Talk. Now, Bill's a fishing guy, and I'm not much of a fishing fella, but I definitely can learn a few things um, from Dollar Bill, y'all. So
Telling you.
um, we'll see.
Get
I
out
mean,
there
we'll
and
see.
sling the worm.
We'll see what comes. Hey, man, do a little something. Get some fishing.
Weekly crypto
Or
guy. There we go.
you know what? Let me tell you. Rob is he's my oracle. As I call him, he's been helping me out to
I'm
learn
all
some
in on
stuff,
Chainlink. I'm all in.
and I've been pumping it on you too. So we've been learning. But interesting note, you guys can go check this out. It's called NBA Top Shot. I think I was telling you about it. I'm not. I don't remember if you and I had a conversation about it. But so you know how people collect baseball cards, basketball cards. They're
Pokemon
collectors
cards.
items, right? So now with the world of going digital, now you can buy a pack of short videos, and there's a company that has they have signed off with the NBA to create these videos, and they go ahead and they put their trademark on it, they create it or whatnot, and you can trade these little video clips. So you can buy a pack, which by the way they're all sold out now. So it's definitely
How do you
moving.
sell out? It's digital.
Well, they create a certain number of, just like they did baseball cards, right? So you can have
Hmm.
a card that they made, which was a regular card, some Joe Schmo, and they have 500,000 of them. But then you have that one card that they only make 500 of or 1,000 of, right? And it's a lot more rare. So similar to that is what they're doing. So you can buy a pack of these digital short clips, and you may get a bunch of garbage little clips. But then you're going to get that special LeBron James dunk, or that Steph Curry crazy three
But what's
from, like,
different
you
about
know
that than just looking up this than just looking it up in NBA highlight reels?
well, the difference, Timmy, is that they're putting some kind of an encryption on it. um Tito says they bring some bazooka to come with
Seriously.
it. They So they'll encrypt it, and then what happens is, so now you have the official video, because remember they have a license now with the NBA, right? So all the
Okay.
video that's coming from the NBA is now officially put through this company for these clips. So, like, for example, a LeBron James dunk from a couple years ago sold
Okay.
for $71,000.
Okay. So you tell me what game that was, right? And I can look it up and find it on the internet.
You can, but you're not going to find the encrypted file that
Who
they put together,
cares?
the official NBA
Who
encrypted file.
cares? What difference does it make? It's like
Tim,
well, listen, you could watch Lord of the Rings on DVD or someone had
you can
pirated
watch
it.
it.
It's not the same. It's the same movie. What do you mean?
Hey, I'm just telling you. You know what I
That's
mean?
the
It says
stupidest
own the
idea ever.
best.
And I hate that people are going to make money off this because that is dumb. I've had ideas way better than that. The one I just had about interactive NBA games is $1 billion idea, and I'm not going to get any credit for it, and no one's going to talk about it. And in 2 years, you guys are going to go, I remember when Hater B said that. And I'm going to be still sitting here in the same house, counting pennies, hoping the chain link hits $34, and so I can make $8.
I like it. I like the enthusiasm. But you know what? Somebody went out there and paid $71,000 for that thing. So basically, what it says, own the best moments from the NBA, from NBA history. So NBA fans from around the world collecting top shot moments,
That's
with
so dumb.
over 31 million USD in sales across rookies, vets, and rising star players.
Here's the
So
thing. I'm gonna
instead of
I'm
a
gonna
rookie
grab my
card, you're gonna get the first time that a guy sets foot on the court and shakes LeBron's hand, and that's the video you're gonna get.
yeah. I'm gonna break out the old 1989, best of NBA highlight reel, and I'm gonna convert it to DVD, get it digital. I'm gonna clip it up, and I'm gonna sell it to people. This is the dumbest idea, and anybody that buys that is a sucker. I'm sorry. That's
Listen,
like
the base set, all right, contains 3 moments,
how
okay,
much?
and it's $9.
So you're paying nine
$9.
dollars for three. How long is each clip?
They're not very long. They're less than a minute.
Less than a minute. So shorter than
Yep.
3 TikTok videos. You're paying $9 to watch clips from a game that you could look up on YouTube or you can look up anywhere. And the thing is if it's a highlight worth watching, it's gonna be on the internet already. It's
But
not like
listen, hey, if you want to up it a little bit, you can go to the Cool Cats package, right? And you
okay,
can get 5 moments for $14. All right. I mean, and by the way, both
see,
of these packs are sold out. Like they don't have any more. I mean, they're done. So you got to wait for them
but
to have
but the
more.
thing is,
You know,
Rob, I get the point you're making, but at the end of the day, This is completely different because the clips they're making are from games that have already been played and people have watched so many times. These highlight reels, I mean, you're talking about, oh, here's a clip of the Michael Jordan dunk from the free throw line. Do you know how many times I've seen that in different ways? Having somebody's little watermark in the bottom right corner does not automatically make that a $40,000 video. I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry.
but it does. I mean, you can. Hey, I guess you can go and print yourself up your own baseball or basketball card, can you not? But you don't do that, do you?
I
You
could,
know what I mean? You go out and
and
you
then
buy
sell
a
it for ten
Topps
thousand
baseball
dollars.
card. You go buy a Topps baseball card and you go and trade it to Rob for, or sell it to Rob for $100.
No,
You know what
because
I
it
mean?
takes me 3 seconds to find a clip. I'm not going to go make a baseball card. No one. And honestly, I could probably make one if I was any good on Photoshop in like 5 seconds. We do it all the time. The Instagram videos you make, the Instagram photos you make. Like this is not any. This is not an idea worthy of making tons of money. I'm
Well, listen,
sorry.
the NBA thinks it is a worthy idea because they signed off on the rights to it to this company, and it's Dapper Labs is the name of the company that has put this thing together. So,
And again, this
um,
is not a physical item. This is the only reason I'm arguing it. Is it's this is a digital item. This is something that is on the internet. Okay, a Mike Trout rookie card, that is a tangible item. Okay, that people want, and you have to store it and take care of it, and it's worth something. You can physically give it to somebody. If I say, hey, I got this email from so and so, I just send it to you, and you have it now. You know what I mean? It's not worth anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's digital. Like I don't understand the mindset on this. I get adding value, somehow value is added to it, and I don't know how. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, I just thought I've been I came across it the other day. I thought it was kind of funny, and I thought it was. But here's the deal, you know what I mean? We think it's one of the stupidest things, but watch this thing take off, and every single sport out there, is going to have it. So this is Top Shot. So I think we need to start thinking about a name, of is it going to be the Sideline Sport, digital video or whatever. We're gonna start making our own, man. We're gonna start, grabbing our own
And you know
video
what?
and and
You
and
guys
putting it together.
instead of watching our YouTube videos or watching our Twitch videos, we're gonna sell you 40-second clips of our videos that no one else can ever watch unless they go on YouTube or somewhere else that we've already posted it.
Well, I tell you what, if the
No, it
quality
makes
is
no
as good as
sense.
what I'm putting out right now, we ain't gonna get crap for it. All right.
It makes no. Nobody watches our stream to look at you. They're here to listen to you and look at me. Everyone knows this.
Hey, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. I was told that early on, and I've taken that and I understand it. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay, I'm perfectly fine with it. But I just want to bring that up because I thought it was a little nugget there, a little funny little nugget there.
Unbelievable.
Of the world that we are headed, the path that we're headed in, moving
All
forward.
right, but
Everything's
I
becoming
just want to
digital.
go on
Everything is
notice
just
that the interactive basketball games was my idea. That's all I'm saying.
hey. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, man. Shoot. I mean, look at that. I mean, before you know it, we're over an hour into this thing, and we just kind of rambled along through here today.
Chad helped out a
I've
little bit.
been I've been a little under the weather last since yesterday, and I told you that before we came on today. But I think I try to hold up as best I could. So it's fun to hear you again on here. We're moving
Glad to
on
be
to
back.
baseball and to other some of these other sports. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. I mean, we're here for you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we created this, and our original thought was just to talk crap. You know what I mean? Just like we would do if we were all at if we all got invited to a 2-year-old's birthday party and we had no business being there, we're all gonna huddle around some corner and talk crap about sports
Hanging
while
out at Monkey
mommies are
Joe's.
while the mommies are out there with the kids. So ultimately, that's what we're here for. We want to talk some crap. We want to talk some smack. Bring it all on. Let us know what you think. Whatever sport. Clearly, we don't have any rhyme or reason to our stuff. We just kind of just ramble through it and we go back and forth. But it's fun and we enjoy it. And hopefully, you guys are enjoying it with us. And we'll keep putting some stuff out there for you all.
But we're gonna get out of here, man. episode 10. I think this was a good one. I think we got a lot covered. I think chat was balling tonight, man. You guys were involved. Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much. We're gonna try and get this video up on YouTube, and make sure you guys are following us on the Twitter at Talk Sideline, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah, man. Get out there, let your friends know about what's happening, and get us out there, help get us out there. You could be one of the first. You could tell them you were one of the first ones, just like Tim when he bought his first pack of Top Shot videos. You could be one of the first to say that you
I
were on
tried.
with
They're sold
Sideline
out.
Sport Talk. So we are not sold out.
That's
So
it.
get on board. Let us let everybody know and spread the word and help us get out there and hopefully we can keep creating something that's pretty cool. So with that said, I'm out. Timmy.
See you, boys.